Good morning, TIs. It's AniKaspar. It is 8:13 a.m. on 3/10/2017. There we go. Okay, there we go. Better. I keep getting woken up at 4:30 a.m. This is 2 weeks of, no, what am I saying? Almost 8 weeks of just outrageous stuff. If you hear noise in the background suddenly, I'll speak up, but right now I'm just too tired to, even with all my coffee. I wanted to make a few comments on this is like general kind of comments, or I'm going to call this insight. It's insights that I've had, particularly in the past 20 years, as I survived one of the most extreme targeting programs one could ever envision, have led me to believe that, without doubt, we have some very sick puppies in power throughout the world, and they have been in essence, a cult of death. There's just no question. If anyone believes for 1 second that the people in power are so stupid as to allow our planet to get into the condition that it's in, and to have, the greatest military power in the history of the world be so questionable in many of its endeavors, you got to think again, or you've got to start to really get an education. And I know that's a big problem in the United States because I'm trying to get here, so there we go. A big problem in the United States because our educational system has been gutted. But I was very blessed. I've been incredibly blessed by grace, actually, for quite some time. But I was very blessed recently to read a biography of Teddy Roosevelt, and actually of the Roosevelt family, kind of, but particularly Teddy and FDR. And while I disagree with a lot of what Teddy did, it gave me incredible insight into what has happened to the political parties in our country in the past 100+ years. And Teddy was targeted. Yeah. He was a member of the Republican Party, as you may recall, but he was a progressive. He believed that government had the responsibility to its taxpayers and to its citizens, even before tax paying, to actually provide them with services and protections. And I would say, as I reviewed much of what he did politically, not his warmongering, that was like some weird kind of psychological thing to like overcome the fact that he had been a very ill child and that his father had not served in some war. I can't remember now. There's so many wars I can't keep track, and I don't wish to. But he really tried, as a member of the Republican Party, to bring human rights to America. And it's a travesty that our country is so behind. I mean, I think Switzerland gave women the right to vote in, God, when did they give it? Some outrageously early time. I, I mean, like, like almost 200 years ago. I don't have the exact numbers on the top of my head, but our country is so behind, and given that it is the economic leader, or was the economic leader, but still is the military leader in many ways, and intelligence, obviously, right? um, I found it like really shocking that Teddy, a pretty hardcore conservative fellow, was trying to do so much positively for the citizens of our country, and then it appears to be targeted by his own party, to be honest. The assassination attempt made on him during a speech was, quote unquote, made by a crazy lone gunman German who had said he was hearing voices that told him to kill Teddy Roosevelt. I'm telling you, it is unbelievable what people bite as reality in our world today. If we have these lone gunmen hearing voices that lead him to try to murder and assassinate one of the greatest presidents we've had, and I don't agree with his war record, and I don't agree with his warmongering, but some of the things that Teddy Roosevelt did were just astounding. I mean, we really owe to him all of our national parks. We owe to him almost every single social services that was put in place. I mean, he probably looked back at what Bismarck did in Germany and said, oh my God, we're like 100 years behind these guys. And the Germans are barbaric according to us, the Huns. That's what everybody used to call Germans. And since I'm like half German, I take umbrage to that. Um, but, you know, the insights that I've been able to explore over the past 20 years are that our country has been in the midst of some kind of bizarre psyop for the past 150 years, where if you are a moneyed interest, you get everything, including welfare. Subsidies and on and on. But if you're not, you get tortured, maimed, killed. We don't even have universal health care. Every developed nation in the world has universal health care. It's an abomination that we don't have universal health care. Look at Japan's healthcare system. They have some of the healthiest people on the planet, even, of course, with Fukushima, which I'm pretty sure it was done by, sorry guys, this backward thing, which I'm pretty sure was done by the crazies in the MIIC, Military Industrial Intelligence Complex, because Japan, I think, was about to kind of step on board with China and Russia and Brazil, the whole BRICS thing, before, of course, the MIIC, the crazies, because crazy people don't wage war 24/7 for 150 or 200 years. Come on. No, normal people don't live that way. They don't choose those professions. They don't choose that way of being under the auspices of defense, no less. I mean, the whole thing is such a psyop. But universal health care is just one example. I mean, the fact that every other developed nations and even undeveloped nations like Slovenia offer completely free education and high quality, something that makes our public education system look like it fell out of Honduras. Americans need to start to send non-stop emails to their representative and say, that's it, no more taxes for you unless you start to do something for me. I'm not having anything to do with this. This is insane. What do you think I am? Somebody who just jumped off the boat from Honduras? I mean, really. And this recent assault by the GOP, and I'm not a Democrat, I'm a centrist. A centrist is simply a person, and I may have just created this. Is a person who chooses the best people for the job, period, and they have no affiliation to either the left or the right. They have no affiliation. They're independent. So I suppose independent is the better option here. But it's like outrageous that the GOP is dismantling the entire government. So what do we get? So we're well on our way to be, well, we're well on our way to be Honduras. There's no question. You can't have the notion, the demented notion that unbridled capitalism ever worked anywhere at any time. It's called insanity. And it is not a scientific fact. So any bozo, and I don't care how many PhDs they have after their name, who tries to tell you that free market, unbridled free market economy, the libertarians of the world, actually works, you tell them to cite exactly where, when, how, because there's no history of it anywhere. And anywhere that principle has been introduced, and it was introduced into Latin America in the 70s, that's why you had so many coups there that took out social democracy, which, by the way, social democracy works fabulously well in many countries that are economically robust, and their people are also robust, and their land is robust, and their air is robust, and their food is robust, and their water is robust. So I'm trying to keep this to 10 minutes. I'm going to urge you now to write to your representatives every day an email. after you reviewed the news and tell them what you disagree with and what you agree with, and that you will not participate anymore in anything in this mass genocide of the American people that's been going on since the robber barons, since the Industrial Revolution in this country. And again, I'm not a lefty and I'm not a laborist and I'm not any of that. I am a business person. Our country has failed in every industry except for technology and defense and oil or fossil fuels. It is a joke that our country is not leading the world in all industries, given the level of resources and billionaires we've created in the past 50 years alone. So forgive me. I'm kind of done with the shuck and jive propaganda, crazy psyop that's been going on in America since the robber barons. And if you don't understand that, start reading, and everything's available now, audio. Start going back. Read anything or review anything by Howard Zinn, Zinn, and welcome to reality. If you want a country to look at Iceland. Look at Denmark, look at Norway, look at Sweden, look at Finland, look at, you can't really look at the close allies of the United States because they're close allies of our dear country that's been run into the ground. But look at those countries, look how well they're faring, and look at the type of governments they have. That's not to say they're perfect and they're not corrupted also. Of course there's corruption, of course there's issues. But nothing like what our poor country has been forced to endure, particularly in my lifetime. It's an abomination. It is the most regressive historical event ever, in my personal opinion, what has been done to America and the world by this small group of complete psychopaths. That's enough of me. That's enough for me. Core is coming together beautifully. Please get your UN letters in. Please make your contacts, set up your email addresses with your full birth name that is provable by ID. Get to us because we have a lot of projects rolling. And I'm starting to focus on the things that I do best, and we're starting to get volunteers to take care of the rest because I just cannot possibly do it all. I am too targeted, have been too targeted for 20 years, and in the past 6, had my butt handed to me. Oh, I don't know, 4,675 times, at least 10 times a month. Blessings. Have a beautiful weekend, or create a beautiful weekend.